Welcome aboard, everybody, or I should say, this time around, welcome back. I'll be your pilot wannabe for part 2 of this comparison between 5 of the Diamond aircraft available in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I didn't cover either of the DA20s because I'm not interested in them, and I heard that the add-ons kind of sucked, so I wasn't going to bother with those. Right here, though, we have what I'm anticipating will be my favorite of the whole bunch. I mean, it probably is my favorite. I'm just doing this comparison video just for funsies, and to give anyone who might actually slog through one of my long videos a little bit of a chance to see the differences in all the planes. But this is the DA42 6. Or VI, depending on who you talk to, from the developer Cows, creator of Worlds, same as the DA40 from the first video. And it is equally study level in systems depth. About the only thing I think this doesn't do that the 40 does is the panel doesn't shake so much, but of course it's a twin engine plane with the engines out on the wings and not right in front of the panel, so that could have something to do with it too, I suppose. Anyway, it's a gorgeous looking bird. The DA42, I saw pictures of the DA42 years ago. It was the first time I became at all aware of Diamond aircraft, and I just thought it was just the most amazing science fiction looking twin engine airplane that you can imagine. I think it's a fantastic looking airplane in real life and in the simulator. We've got this is obviously supposed to represent a good condition example, but it's got the wear. This this propeller blade has killed a lot of bugs in its day and lost some of its finish to prove it. Yeah, you got bug spatter and whatnot all over the leading edge parts. Yeah, fantastic looking model inside and out. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and get inside. And I'll just get over here near the door to make it somewhat look legit looking. Using the drone camera for this instead of the walking camera, as I have mentioned in the previous video. Walking camera is a little twitchy for me at times, so. Okay, so we're inside. Let's go ahead and throw the canopy open. Get some nice fresh air. As with the DA40 from Cows and the DA50 from Skyward Simulations, you can click on the seatbelts to see. I clicked on the seatbelt, and now from the outside there'll be a co-pilot sitting here. I guess I could show you. Move around here. I probably should move this camera a ways away anyway. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, see, now it's showing a co-pilot there. And if I click it again, I'll be able to see him in the cockpit, and I click it again and he's invisible inside and out. And I can click my seatbelt and make myself visible inside also, which is not very useful, I don't think, because then you're like looking through yourself, looking through your own face, which I've done this in previous videos, and yeah, it's no less disturbing now than the first time I did it. Where's the seatbelt? There it is. Okay, am I visible from the outside? No. One more click and I'm visible from the outside now. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so also like the DA40 from Cows and the Skyward Simulations DA50, you can click on the headphone jacks to give yourself a noise canceling effect, which is cool. Not going to bother until we get things going. Like the DA40 from Cows, everything in here works, and oh, I wonder if the same discovered when I was flying the 40 that one of the circuit breakers actually wasn't modeled. What was it? It was, I feel like I recognize it if I see the same. See, this one actually says autopilot. I was trying to pull the circuit breaker for the autopilot in the DA40, and it didn't say autopilot. It had a bunch of letters there. Yeah, they all appear to be modeled in this one. Interesting. Anyway, you can fly this very, very, like by the numbers. You can, do everything. And plus it's got, it models engine damage. I can screw up the engines, can screw up a lot of stuff actually. But let's get it going. I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the startup process. I always start, I like to look at the checklist on the G1000, but before firing up the power, I start at the left end of the console, make sure, or I should say panel, left end of the panel, make sure the voter switches are on auto, the alternator switches are on, pitot heat's off, electric master's off, AV master's off, fuel pumps are off, circuit breakers we already checked, throttles are idle, fuel valves are on, fuel transfer switches are off. That's for transferring fuel from the auxiliary tanks into the mains, which oh, you know what? I didn't check the fuel and stuff. I knew I was forgetting something. You know what? Hold on a second. There's a couple things I gotta check. I will be right back. Okay. Yeah, in the process of everything, I forgot to set the fuel at 50% and all the other stuff I've been doing with the other planes, and then I also reset the time. I'd been starting all the other planes at 12:04 p.m. local time, and I had failed to do that as well. So here we are. Okay, so now I'm ready, I believe. Oh yeah, I need to make sure that the engine masters were off. That was an important one that I skipped over. Yeah, the engine masters are off. Okay, turning on the main battery power. Uncaging the backup attitude indicator there. Okay, we've got the checklists. Am I going to run through the whole checklist? I don't know. It will make for a long-ish video. I mean, obviously I won't be running, when I say obviously, because we haven't talked about the next plane after this one, the last plane we're going to do, but I won't be going through the whole checklist on that one, so I guess we can go through it real quick. Engine master, battery voltage, I'm assuming is okay. Yeah, it's 25.7, so it's actually a tick higher than last time. Anyway, battery voltage, rudder pedals are adjusted. They can't actually move. That's one thing they didn't model was in the real plane you have a switch somewhere down here to move the rudder pedals closer to you or further away. Flight controls, yeah, we'll do it quick and easy from the outside. Just making a box movement. The rudder pedal keeps fluttering for some reason. Okay. Supposed to check the gear warning. Yep, it sounds like a warning. We're not looking at the de-ice stuff or the windshield de-icing. Flaps supposed to check for full travel. Again, we will go outside. And there's takeoff, approach. There's full. Notice that the lights work, unlike the Asobo DA40NG, where those lights are just out all the time. Variable, yeah, we're not going to do some of the complicated checklist stuff. I'll do that when I make another video with this plane sometime. I've done it in the past, a long time ago, but not going to take the time this time. Don't have any passengers. Yeah, seatbelts are virtual. Rear door's closed. Never opened it. Front canopy, I'll close it in a minute after I start the engines. Supposed to check the fuel quantity and fuel temperature, which here's the fuel temp and here's the quantity. That's all well and good. Supposed to, note the time in service. And again, checking more de-icing stuff. Insert the key, the starter key, which is right here. Power levels are at idle. They want you to turn the strobe light on. I don't do that. I always turn on the nav light, or it's marked as position light in this. Strobe light seems rude. And then you start the left-hand engine first and check for oil pressure right away. We do get a nice big full screen engine page on here, which is nice. Okay, turning on the left engine master. Gotta wait for the glow plug light to go out, because that's how diesel engines work. Maybe I'll explain it next time that we're in one of these. And I'm hitting the start button. And it's alive. And the oil pressure just shot right up. All hunky-dory. Let's see, what else did it say? Check volts and check amps. Okay. Yeah, volts and amps are working. Now we're going to do the same thing with the right engine. Wait for the glow plug to go out. Hit the start button. It's alive. Oil pressure came up. Still got good volts and all that. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the avionics master right now. And we will go back to the checklist briefly. External power disconnect, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, oil pressure, 710 RPM, plus or minus 30. Fuel pumps are still off. Fuel selector safety guards are closed, and switch them to crossfeed. They are closed, and this is on crossfeed. You're just testing to make sure the crossfeed works. So check, 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 check. Now here you're supposed to watch the amps and junk when you turn on the pitot heat, which I will do right now. See how it affects the volts and the amps. So that way you know the pitot heat is working. I'm going to turn it back off. And back to checklist. So check, check. Avionics master, I already turned it on. Not messing with the radar detector, weather radio. Wow, damn it, I can't say it right. Yeah, weather radar. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I think the local barometric was 2986. I'm not going to bother with double checking. It's on a weather preset, and so it should be 2986 every time I pick the same preset. So, ergo, 2986. We're not going to do the autopilot test either. If it ends up not working while we're in the air, then I'll deal with that then. Position lights, fuel selectors back to on. I think in real life I might do the run up with them on crossfeed and then switch back, but we'll go ahead and switch back now in the interest of saving a little time. I'm going to do the same maneuvers I did with all the planes in part 1. With one addition. Since this is a twin engine plane, I'm going to kill one of the engines in the air just to see what it's like. We'll talk more about that in a few. Okay, fuel selectors, altimeters set. Oh, I didn't set this one. That's probably about 2986 there or there. There. Yeah, good enough. Transponder is still on altitude reporting. I probably left it that way last time I was screwing with the plane, because it has the state saving turned on. So things, however screwed up I leave things, that's how I'll find it when I come back. Engine temperatures, yeah, you're supposed to not take off until the engine temperatures are in the green, which the oil is approaching being in the green. What else we got for temperatures around here? Coolant is approaching the green. Gearbox is very close to the green. Sure. All right, let's close the canopy. And I think I'll turn on the taxi light. You can go ahead and taxi on over to the hold short. Maybe things will be warmed up enough to do the run-up at that point. I will resume the recording at the hold short. See you there. Here we are at the hold short for NY21 here at Madison, Indiana. I guess I didn't mention that since this is, you know, a new video. Oh, I guess I should put the flaps up. It's really on the checklist, though. We'll put the flaps up to the, see, that's actually approach. I think you're supposed to do a flapless takeoff with this plane. Let's see. Did that checklist already, so let's go to the next one. This would be the run-up one. Yeah, parking brake, seat belts, adjustable backrest, door and canopy, baggage door, door warning lights, circuit breakers, still looking good. Electric elevator trim, supposed to test, and yeah, if I had actually tested the autopilot, I would have screwed the trim all up. Anyway, it'd be a good time to reset the trim. Okay. Elevator trim seems just fine. Fuel selectors are on. Rudder trim I haven't messed with. Yeah, it's still centered up. Strangely, I can't get the rudder trim to bind to a key from button for some reason. Anyway, flaps. Yeah, up for normal takeoff. Okay. Flaps up. Flight controls. Yeah, we'll do the box one more time. Yeah. Looking good. That's the quick and easy way that won't give anyone vertigo. I could look out the windows and stuff and do it for more realism, but might make you want to hurl. Power levels are at idle. That is correct. Let's go to the MFD and check the temperatures and make sure they're all green and everything before going on to do the run-up type stuff. And they are in the green. All right, I'll do the run-up stuff and we'll go back to the checklist to look at it. So first you switch the voter switches, which they're on auto, which is automatically choosing between A and B computer to run each engine. So we'll switch the left engine to B and the right engine to B. If I can get that little switch and they stay running, switch them to A. If I can get that little switch, come on. There we go, switch to A. Both still seem happy. Back to auto. Now I'm going to hold the brakes down just sort of out of superstition. These are the ECU test buttons. You can do them individually. But in real life, you could use two fingers and do them simultaneously. And they let you click in between them to simulate that. So I'm going to click and hold between them to do the ECU test. It'll wind up again. And everything seems fine. While I'm thinking about it, I'm going to throw the headset on. There we go. So quiet now. And back to the checklist. Now I feel like I should whisper. Did the voter switches, did the ECU test. Do I need pitot heat? It's only 11 degrees. Yeah, sure. Let's turn the pitot heat on. At least that way I won't complain. Ice protection, no. Transponder. Yes, I know. Stall heat will come on when the weight comes off the landing gear. Transponders on. Altitude reporting. Fuel pumps on. Okay. Both fuel pumps are on. MFD, parking brake released. Okay, yeah, and on the lineup, you're supposed to do full power for 10 seconds. I only do it about 5 seconds. 10 seconds seems excessive. And that is it for that. The next one is right after takeoff. Normal operating procedures, climb to cruise. Gear checkup, flaps up, fuel pumps off, climb power set. Alternate air is required. supposed to open in precipitation. And landing light off. Okay, go to the engine page. I don't have any traffic or anything out here, so I'm not going to bother looking. So I release the parking brake, turning the landing light on and the strobe light on, and giving it a little throttle to get it moving. Oh, that stall heat thing is just going to keep blinking, huh? There we go. And I'll get it out here and get it lined up and go full power for about 5 seconds. All right. Rolling on the power now. Full power. That was probably 5 seconds. Releasing the brakes. I like all the body roll with it. When you release the brakes, how it rears back, goes nose up. Oh, I didn't look at the rotate speed. I feel like it's in the 60s, maybe like 68, same as the D50. Oh, I'm way past that. Oh, yeah. It kind of wanted to fly anyway. It was ready to go. Let's see, my flaps are already up. I got no more runway, so I'm going to tap the brakes and raise the landing gear. And when I'm about 300 feet AGL, I'll back off to climb power. It's round about there. Climb power is like 92%, although I'm sure it'll do fine at 90. Okay, turning the fuel pumps off. Turning the landing and taxi lights off. And rolling on to an easterly course, roughly following the river, where we will climb to 3,500 and then do our maneuvers and do our engine out. Okay. Going nose down on the trim. I may have to adjust the trim response on this. I feel like it's not very... Yeah, it seems like it moves quite a bit, but... Yeah, there we go. I guess maybe it only moves when I'm looking at it, because I'm doing it some more and nothing seems to be happening. You can adjust that, actually, from this screen. Okay, only 1,000 feet to go, because we're climbing like a banshee. But yeah, while you're on the engine page on the G1000 here, if you hit menu, you can turn on the engine damage and adjust the trim speed and stuff like that, which I'm not going to do right now because I'm busy trying to keep the plane somewhat level and doing a poor job of it. I can get back on my easterly course here. There's the historic downtown Madison, Indiana down there. This is Indiana on this side of the river, and this is Kentucky over here on this side of the Ohio River. And we are flying upriver at the moment. Behind us, many miles away, is Louisville, and past that, the Ohio River joins with Mississippi. So, that's the geography lesson for this flight. Coming up on 3,500. Okay, I'm trying to nose it over a little bit. Going to try to drag the power back to 75%-ish. I'll take 76. Yeah, I'll accept 76. Yeah, I definitely got to adjust the trim speed. It needs to be a little more snappy. But anyway, we're going to turn on the autopilot. We're going to hit heading hold. It should automatically hold the altitude already anyway. All right, and now we're going to get an outside shot, so watch your ears. It's going to get noisy. Told ya. And I'm going to turn the simulator volume down some so we can talk. Yeah, I just think that's a great looking twin engine plane. I'm not sure when it comes to just piston twin airplanes. I'm not sure that I feel like there is a better looking plane than the DA42. I'm sure. I mean, I should be old school at my age, and I am very much old school, but new school looks really good here. You know, and it's not like they just started making DA42s yesterday. They've been making them for like 30 years or something like that, close to it. But there she is. All right. Now let's do something stupid. Turn the volume back up, though. Okay. Just to prove that circuit breakers work, and prove it to myself, I've never pulled any before. We're going to do what we did. Oh, actually, let's pull two of them this time, just not at the same time. Let's see. Going 151 knots indicated. You can do the landing gear, yeah, at 188. I knew it was pretty high. Let's pull the landing gear circuit breaker and then confirm that the landing gear doesn't work. What do you say? Where would it be, do we think? Taxi. Gear. Bank. Okay. Flipping the switch. I have just one green light. I'm assuming nothing's going on outside. Let's look. Oh no, the landing gear came down. Huh. That wasn't supposed to work because I pulled the circuit breaker for the gear. Well, that's peculiar. Took a long time to lock in, and that one can't decide. Maybe just flipping the switch, they drop anyway. This is the emergency gear lever, isn't it? I think it is. Yeah, it must have just been a gravity thing that causes it to drop. You'd think this wouldn't light up, though. I'm going to have to read about that. I don't really know how it works. Pushing gear extension. Okay, now what about if I try to bring the gear up? Yeah. So that's good to know. The gear pretty much falls down even when the switch is pulled. All right, I'm going to put that back down and push the circuit breaker back in and raise the gear back up. Okay, it did work. I was in a bit of a panic there for a second. All right, autopilot. Bang. Yep, autopilot's gone, and the plane is going into a roll. So I should put my hands back on the controls. Okay. Well, now that we know that works, let's go ahead and do the turns. See, last time we did a left-hand 360 and a right-hand 180, so this time I guess we'll do a right-hand 360 and a left-hand 180. Oh, I got way a bunch of altitude. I guess that's okay. All right, so turning to the right. Gonna try to coordinate it. Gonna try to roughly hold my altitude. Yeah, not taking a great deal of rudder input. And it still wants to climb kind of on its own. Oh, I can't decide what it wants to do. Yeah, I feel like I really, really like this plane, but to a certain degree, it doesn't feel quite as I've been using the terms alive and organic to describe how the feeling of flying the DA40 from cows, the developer cows, and I feel like even this one, the DA42, doesn't even feel quite as real. Doesn't give me that little like fluttering in the pit of my stomach like I'm really flying the way the the way the DA40 does. I mean, all things considered, I would in real life take one of these planes over the 40, but I mean, obviously, I'd have to be studying longer. You know, I'd have to take a lot more classes to fly a twin engine, but that would be the goal anyway. I got all the way up to 4,000 feet. That's what 2 engines will do for you, I guess. That's okay when we do an engine out, or the stall. Yeah, we got to do the stall first. Okay, let's do the 180. I didn't give it nearly enough left rudder. I'm fine with losing a little altitude. Whoa. Yeah, I feel like I'm not getting shoved around in the air quite as much as I was with the DA40 and with the DA50. Okay, that's a 180, more or less. Okay, we're going to do a clean airframe stall, so we're going to have to hear the warning about the fact that the gear isn't down. For that, I apologize. Okay, pulling back. Actually, I'm going to turn on the fuel pumps. And pulling back on the power now. Pulling back kind of slowly. Don't know if this one should go into that disk mode check also. Gear. Yeah, it does. There, I can hear it going into disk mode. I'm gonna push it forward just a little bit to get out of the disk mode, and then try to climb to complete the stall.
Check gear.
Yep, I know the gear is still up. I don't need to check. Okay, getting real mushy. Gear. Almost kind of wanted to roll. Yeah, it's like it tries to roll a little bit, but gives you plenty of warning that you can counteract it.
Check gear.
Super mushy. Super duper mushy. Gear. Yeah, that's probably enough. That's all it's gonna do. I mean, it feels like it would maybe drop a wing if I let it, but I wasn't gonna let it. Okay. Let's get up to something in the 60% power range. And then we're going to kill the left engine. Going to hit the button for the engine master, left engine master. Okay, pulling the throttle all the way back. Oh, and it's going to give me the gear warning.
Check gear.
I wonder, can I advance the throttle? Yeah, there. Got rid of that. Yeah, it's, let's see, if I give it, if I want to keep flying towards those stacks right there on the one engine. Yeah, I have to give it some right rudder, but not a great deal. Not a whole lot. I'm not really having to bank it a whole lot either. Oh, well, there a little bit more. Yeah, see, I did a video with the DA62 that you get with the simulator, and they make you use that to get your multi-engine endorsement in the career mode. And I felt like it was far too easy to operate on one engine, but and I wanted to see what the DA42 from Cows was like on one engine, and it's not bad. It's certainly not like the not like the Cessna 310, which I've not flown lately because it hasn't really been working in Simulator 2024, I don't believe. But last time I was screwing around with that on one engine, yeah, oh my God, that's a bear. You got to really wrestle that to keep it flying straight and level at all. Yeah, this isn't that hard. Okay, I'm going to turn the engine master back on. And let's see, I think I need to actually use the starter to restart. I don't think that they'll windmill restart. Not sure if I got enough altitude to try. Okay. Let's
Check gear.
see if I can get enough speed to make it spin.
Pull up.
Yep, it
Sink
did.
rate. Sink
Nice.
rate.
Just before it got going way too fast. Yeah, I was thinking maybe you're supposed to use the starter. I don't know. I can go through the checklist, the emergency checklists, and find out. I'll do that before I make another video with this plane. Okay, we did the stall, we did the engine out, we did the turns. Yep, only thing left is landing. So I'll be back with you when I'm on the final. Okay, I'm not quite on final. The airport is right there. Runway's right there. I got a little turned around out here in the farm fields, kind of messing around with the plane. But let's see. Let's put that back on engine. I suppose I should do some stuff. I'm going to turn on the pumps again, turn on the landing and taxi lights, and in the process, nose down. Back off a little more on the power because we are getting close in a hurry. Let's see, what's the speed for the approach flaps? 133. Oh, we're below that. Okay. How about approach flaps? Oh, landing gear would be good.
Check
Yeah, that'll help
gear.
control the speed too. Okay, now we got gear. That's what the warning's for. Okay, yeah, now she's starting to feel a little more sluggish. Yeah, I gotta turn up the speed on the trim. Just don't get very much. Even though it really looks like it's turning quite a bit. Well, it's very nosed over, the trim. Okay, since I'm in the wide arc, I'm assuming I can go for landing flaps. Oh yeah, that's dumping the speed off significantly. Giving it some power now. I probably want to stay in the upper 70s at this distance, if not 80 knots. Yeah, I'm getting pretty low. Giving it more power. Yeah, I seem to remember last time I landed this plane, I didn't do a great job of it. Too high according to the lights, but that's pretty typical for me. Okay, 85. Yeah, that feels a little more comfortable on the approach. Let's see. Flaps are all the way down, pumps are on, the lights are on, gears down. Coming in a little hot and a little high, so I'm backing way off on the throttle. Trying not to get into the disc mode till I'm at least closer to the ground. Such good visibility in these planes. I gotta be flirting with that disc mode now. Not bad. Now I'm in disc mode. Raising the flaps. Turning off the fuel pumps. Opening the window just because I can. And we are clear of the runway. Okay, I'm not going to necessarily record all of the shutdowns since I recorded most of the whole startup process. But I am going to adjust the trim speed real quick. See, I have failures on normal, state saving on, engine image on, realistic parking brake on. Here's where you go to reset the damage, reset the failures. I had to do that one time when recently when I first started flying this plane again. I'd been so used to flying planes that weren't so realistic, and the first thing I did was burn up the fuel pumps. It's a long story. Maybe I'll tell it next time. Oh, I thought I had turned the trim speed up already. Maybe I'm thinking of the DA40. Let's try 1.5. Okay. All right. Yeah, actually, I'll just drive it over there and we'll park it up and I'll shut it down real quick. We won't go over the checklists or anything. Let's put that on standby this time. Let's turn off the landing and strobe lights. Already turned the fuel pumps off, already raised the flaps, so that's about it. Gosh, I hate it when it does that. Okay, better. All right, giving it some gun. Get over there and park with these guys. I hate how full all the parking is all the time, and I haven't. If there's a setting for that, I haven't been able to find it. There's a strange looking bus pulling up to the diesel pumps there. I guess they're gonna get some Jet A in the bus. I mean, it'd probably work. Actually, I think he's thinking about running over the pump, but ooh. Giving it the left engine, trying to get turned here. There we go. Yeah, okay. Parking brake. Throttles your idle. Turn off the taxi light. Oh, I guess we'll turn on. Oh, I never turned off the pitot heat. Now we're going to turn off the avionics. And we're going to turn off the left engine master and the right engine master and the nav light and the main battery. And we're going to throw the canopy up. And we're going to hop out and walk around. Okay. Yeah, I love this plane. I do notice that, yeah, it doesn't feel quite as... I mean, it's close, but not quite as realistic as the DA40 in a way. I mean, between the panel shaking and then just how the DA40 feels like it's getting tossed around in the air, maybe it's just effective that it's a smaller, lighter, single-engine plane. I don't know, because it's not like this doesn't feel real. I mean, it feels more real than a little more real than the DA50 from Skyward Simulations, and it feels, a gazillion times more real than the stock DA40 NG from Asobo, because that one completely blows. If you watched part 1, I parked it in the grass and abandoned it, and I'm never going to get in it again. If I could have set it on fire, virtually, I would have done that. It's terrible. I haven't flown every plane in the simulator, but it's the worst plane I've flown in the simulator. It's horrible. Anyway, on a tangent. Yeah, the Cows Diamond DA42 is awesome. It's study level. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. I'm going to fly either it or the DA40 on the next leg of the lower 48 capital tour in probably the next video. So there's that. But we have one more plane to do. So we will move on to the next and final plane right now. Okay, here we are with the last plane. It's the Diamond DA62 that comes with the simulator. So the developer is Asobo, I assume. And I feel like it's maybe had some upgrades over the 2020 version. Let's see how it looks, though. I've never checked out this livery before. I can't quite decide what color that is. Chocolate bar, maybe? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't look so brown on other screens. It looks surprisingly brown. Okay, again, it's very, very clean, but somewhat more realistic looking than the DA50 from Skyward Simulations. That one looked also very, very clean, like showroom clean. But something about the textures on this to me looks just a touch more realistic. Yeah, it could have done with some weathering. A little bit of weathering would have gone a long way, because otherwise it looks really good. I think, anyway. Yeah, it looks really good. Just absolutely brand spanking new. What's this on the back here? I got a big W on the back. Must have something to do with the livery I chose, huh? Okay, W for the win. All right. So, oh, I didn't check my controls. My controls are wrong. Stand by for a moment. Okay, should be all better now. Oh, I was about to show you you can open the door, except we only get to see it open for a second, and then it'll throw me outside. So, I don't know if we can open this one. We can't open that one. Can we open the back door? The way we can in so many others? No. Never mind. We don't get to see what it looks like with the doors open. Doors only open briefly. Let's see. I'm going to run over this quickly. Not going to look at any checklists. I'm just going to roughly emulate what I did before. The voter switches. Yeah, they move, but they're on auto. See, the masters are off. The alternators are on. Left-hand fuel pumps off. Right-hand fuel pumps off. Masters off. AV off. Pitot heat off. Landing gear down. Flaps up. Yeah, they modeled the circuit breakers, but we're going to see. Oh, I got this stupid tablet permanently in the way. They modeled the circuit breakers. We're going to see if they work. We're going to try to do what we did with the 42 and see. I'm just really startled that they modeled those. Okay, what else do we need to look at here? See, is the wow, that was weird. Is the parking brake set? Oh, I was looking at the wrong thing. What is that, and why is it up in the way? What does it say? Is it for cabin heat, I guess? Defrost? I don't know. Let's leave it down out of the way. Okie dokie. Let's go for main power. Okay, at least the G1000s come on with the main power, as opposed to the Asobo DA40 and G, where you have to turn the avionics on to get these to come up. No checklist on here, of course, and probably no engine page either. Yeah, no big full engine page or anything. It's very sad. Anyway, let's turn on the nav light. See, it's upset with me because the pitot heat isn't on, I guess. And low voltage because the engines aren't on. No point in waiting. Let's get ready to start the left engine. Gonna wait for the glow plug light to go off. And hitting the start. It's alive. Hey, can I open the window over here? No, I can't open the window. Sadness. And I can't wear headphones. Sadness. Oh, I didn't check the fuel valves and pumps and stuff. Yeah, transfer pumps are fine. Oh, I didn't think about screwing around with the weight. I wonder if I take the weight of the passenger away, will they go away? Probably not. 0. And fuel. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, good enough. Yeah, so this person weighs nothing now and is so much taller than me when I'm in this position, because this is the stock position that you get. Why she's so tall, I don't know. We talked about this before. So I saved this position so that I don't feel ridiculous, or any more ridiculous than I have to. Oh, what do I need to do? We're not going to check anything because nothing can break in this plane. So I guess I could turn on the avionics master, and we'll go ahead and turn on the pitot heat. I wonder if it'll complain about the stall warning. I turned on the avionics. Oh, you know what? I hit the switch for the avionics master, but nothing happened. Okay, I'll have to hit it like that. What about the fuel pumps? Do they work with my switches? No. Look at that. Why don't they work? I will have to hit the, you know what, I'm not going to bother with the fuel pumps because it's not like the engines are going to die. Okay, let's just turn on the taxi light because I bet the temperatures are already up. Anyway, what's going on here with the oil temperature? I mean, I didn't start it that much later than the other one. Coolant temperature. That's weird. Well, we'll see what they look like when we're ready for takeoff. Okay, releasing the parking brake, and I will resume the recording when I'm at the hold short. Okay, so we can't do the run up here. The switches light up, but they don't do anything when you push them. So we're not going to bother with that. We've got the lights on. I've got the pitot heat on. I'm set to take off flaps. What else? I'm not bothering with the fuel pumps. Got the trim in the right spot. Releasing the parking brake, and we're just going to go. As I've said before, we don't have any traffic, so not bothering with the realism of looking around or using the ATC or anything like that. See, we are going to do the old 100% power for 5 seconds and releasing the brakes arrangement. And we're going to do that right now. Notice no, again, no yellow and red flashy over here. Feels like there should be, but there's not. Okay. And again, I didn't look and see what the rotate speed is. We'll figure by the time I'm pushing 80 knots, probably ready to fly anyway. Oh yeah, not a problem. Okay, tapping the brakes, raising the landing gear. Oh look, I didn't do all my normal stuff here. I didn't set 3500 on the, oh wow, I went crazy. I was thinking about other stuff here. 3500, trying to get 3500, there it is. Raising the flap, I should say flaps. Didn't use the fuel pumps, but I will turn off the, at least I'll try. I have to use the wrong hand. There we go, landing in taxi lights, and we're gonna turn to the east. Wow, it's noticeably snappy in the roll compared to all of the other planes. It's probably even snappier than the DA40 NG from Asobo. Very snappy in the roll. Let's see, I get my heading bug over here where I wanted it. Heading back there, and I didn't set. Usually I set the CDI needle to be the runway heading, which I'll do that later when I'm heading back for final. All right. Oh, I never set climb power. Probably because it's not flashing over here reminding me. Oh yeah, look at that. The pitch doesn't change. I changed from 100% to like 70 something percent, and the pitch of the engines didn't change audibly. The audible pitch didn't change. That's goofy. And still, it's not as crazy overpowered as the DA40 is. It's pretty snappy on the elevator too, but nothing like the DA40. But the roll is surprisingly snappy. And let's get up to 35 and get it leveled off. I might even use the autopilot. Wow, that's abrupt. Okay, I don't need to climb that fast. Go on heading mode. Heading mode. Hello. There we go. And now why isn't it climbing? Didn't I just set a vertical speed? Here, get up there, man. Yeah, it's a little stubborn. Oops, wrong direction on that. Okay, we're just about to level off. There we go. Can't get it to zoom in. Alright, bring it back to 75. Still no noticeable difference in the audio. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not here. Okay, I'm going to briefly turn the volume of the simulator up significantly. And then I'm going to increase the power from 75 to 100% and back to 75 again. I'm explaining now in case you can't hear me. Okay, here comes the noise. Yeah, so I took it all the way down to 50% power and didn't get much in the way of a noticeable difference on the audio. That's super disturbing. That doesn't seem right at all. Okay, well, let's get the outside shot, and then we'll pull the circuit breaker or two and see if it works. Still a pretty good looking plane, the DA62. I think I like the looks of the DA42 and the DA50 better than the DA62. The fuselage on the 62 just looks a little chubby or something. A little more of a bus look to it, like it's a flying minivan or something. But still an attractive plane. Okay, back inside. Shall we do that same pulling the circuit breaker for the gear again? Okay, pull the circuit breaker for the gear. Lowering the gear. It sounds like normal, except it does say check. Oh, I think it always says check gear while it's in motion. Yeah. And now landing gear coming up. Yeah, that circuit breaker didn't do anything. Same as the ECU test lights. They just or test lights. Same as the ECU test buttons. They just light up. They don't actually do anything. But we'll go ahead and see if we can locate the one for the autopilot and pull that also. If I can find it. Flaps. Okay, left engine, right engine, avionics. Wouldn't it be under avionics? No. Main bus. Pitot, de-ice. Gear warning. Gear, we'll throw that back in. Auxiliary pumps. Flap landing. Yeah, unless I'm just not recognizing. Is it this? It's not like I'll know if it doesn't work. Yeah, no, the autopilot's still firmly on. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find it. I saw the one for the flaps, though, didn't I? Yeah. Flaps. I won't break the plane, I suppose, even though we're way over the flap speed. Flaps still coming down? Oh, maybe they won't at this speed anyway. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we should try that on the ground. I don't know. Yeah, let's try to remember to try that one on the ground. Okay, killing the autopilot. And the flight director. And doing a left turn 360. I have to give it some rudder, which is nice. So losing altitude like crazy. We can stand to lose some. Not sure why we're at the altitude we're at, considering I had 35 chosen. Wow, we're losing altitude like crazy. Gonna try and get this thing up. Yeah, it's definitely super wobbly. It probably feels, I don't know, similar to the DA50 from Skyward Simulations, except for the fact that the aileron authority, it seems suspiciously aggressive. And I didn't get that feeling from the DA50. Okay, straight into the 180. Having a lot more trouble with the altitude. Not that I did great in the other planes, but I'm doing worse in this plane, I would say. Do have to give it some rudder to keep the old slider in position there. Oh, losing altitude again. Okay, and it almost seems, oh, we should do the stall. Yeah, okay. All right. Pulling the power back now. Until we get the stall wording. I'm 99% sure that props won't go into the disc mode in this. Oh, look, no gear warning. I didn't pull the fuse for the gear warning. Yeah, no check gear warning. That seems wrong. It's got a test thing for that, doesn't it? Oh, sure, now it's doing it. Oh, well, that's the stall warning, I guess. Super mushy. Super duper mushy. Yeah, it's just real mushy and losing altitude. Okay, that's enough of that. And then we're gonna go straight into killing the left engine. And see, I feel almost nothing. Like there's almost no. I'm not putting any rudder in at all. No rudder input at all. That doesn't seem right. Does not seem right. Okay. Turning the engine master back on. Wonder if it'll air start. Seems like we're awfully close to the ground. Seems like it's not going to air start. Yeah, never mind. I'll hit the starter. Yeah, no real surprise. Overall, it's just not as realistic as the cows stuff, and not as realistic or enjoyable as the Skyward Simulations DA50. They seem to have Seem to have broken the low volts thing here. Let's turn off the alternators and turn them back on again. You know, it's electrical. Turn it off and back on again. Yeah, that seemed to have done it. Okay. Well, I'm gonna land this crate, and I'll probably fly it for career mode. But other than that, why would I fly this when I've got the two Diamond airplanes from Cows and the DA50 from Skyward Simulations is more fun than this. So, c'est la vie. Okay, see you on final approach. Okay, we're back. Disengaging the autopilot. Go ahead and throw out the landing gear. Oh, bouncy, bouncy. Turning on the landing and taxi lights. Not bothering with the fuel pumps. I'm low enough I can do the first stage of flaps. Back the power off a little more. Let's see. Yeah, we got all white lights. Because I come in high and fast. That's just how I roll. Well, I gotta turn my headset down a little bit if I can do it. Got the wrong hand on the stick here. Coming in at a little bit of an angle, I realize. I'm just trying to get this one on the ground. Okay, backing off the throttle significantly. So we need to get down to 119 for the landing flaps. There we go. Okay, landing flaps. Probably gonna have about 80, 85 knots on the approach would be more ideal. So, see if I can get it down here. I feel like 90 is stuck in my head, like 90 on the approach is what you want. This, I don't know why. I don't know if that's legitimate, but I feel like it is. Trying to get some nose up trim here. And a little more power. I landed this thing on one engine in the career mode, so you would think this wouldn't be a big deal. I can't see the ground very well. I'm definitely off center. A little bounce. Yeah, not my best landing of the day, that's for sure. Okay, flaps up. Never turned on the pumps because I don't care about them. We missed the taxiway, so I think we got to go all the way to the end now. Now there's one short of the end, but it's down there a ways. Okay, I might pause the recording and get back with you guys when I'm ready to shut it down. Try to remember to check the circuit breaker for the flaps. We'll see. Okay, here we are for the shutdown. Let's check that circuit breaker for the flaps real quick. Oh, I used the flaps and I never did put the circuit breaker back in, so I guess that answers that question, huh? No, I only thought I was using the flaps. No wonder I was coming in kind of hot. I landed without flaps. I bet my landing would have been way better with flaps. Well, that's a surprise. So the circuit breaker works for the flaps. Yeah, look at that. Okay, well, so some of them are modeled. And I just did a flapless landing without even really realizing it. That was why I had such a nose-high attitude at those speeds. I was wondering about that. Well, that certainly could have gone worse, I guess. Pilot error strikes again. Okay. All the lights are off except for the nav lights. Never turn the pumps on. Flaps are up. Turning the pitot heat off. Turning the avionics off, but I have to do it with the mouse. Killing the left engine. And killing the right engine. And the nav light. And the main power. And finally, debrief time for the whole comparison. Okay. That person's walking right through the wing. Anyway, so they seem to be working on this some. I guess I should check back once in a while and see if they modeled the ECU test at some point and maybe model the rest of the circuit breakers. I mean, I didn't do a thorough check to see how many circuit breakers were working, how many weren't, but you know, it's improved some, but nothing like the 2 planes from cows. And I still would rate the DA50 from Skyward Simulations as that is the right name, isn't it? I keep saying that. I should double check. Yeah, Skyward Simulations. I would rate that the DA50 from Skyward Simulations is higher than the DA62 from Asobo. Everything is higher than the DA40 NG from Asobo. That was one of the worst experiences with a plane in the simulator I've ever had. So that one's definitely bottom of the barrel. As far as my favorite, I was expecting it to be the DA42, and in reality, the only reason that it is still my favorite, DA42 from cows, is because it's a twin engine plane, and I have a thing for twin engine planes. I prefer the twin engine planes. When it comes down to purely just how I feel about the add-on and the simulator, I kind of feel like the DA40 edges out the DA42 just a little bit. Something about the feel of it. It gave me that same feeling that the A2A Piper Comanche gives me, where it puts me right back in. You know, I've only been in a small airplane twice in my life and got to handle the controls and stuff. And the Piper Comanche from A2A brings that feeling right back, and the DA40 from cows brings that feeling back also, whereas the DA42 doesn't quite get there. But of course, I've never been in a twin engine small airplane. I've only been in singles. So maybe maybe the stability of the twin engine setup is causing the 42 to you know, not give me that kind of fluttering around on the wind feeling that the DA40 does and the Comanche does. But yeah, either way, I think I'll do the next leg of the lower 48 capitals in the DA40 from cows, and maybe we'll get into the checklist more and stuff on that one, because we got in the checklist some on the 42 this time, but not as much on the 40. So that's probably the plan, and then maybe I'll do something else with the career mode, and I need to start putting these comparison videos maybe into a playlist, and I'll do some more career mode videos and put them into a playlist also. So anyway, probably going to be the well, I was going to say probably last time you see the DA62 on my channel for a while, but if I do career mode stuff, maybe we'll see the DA62. Maybe I'll do one of the science missions where you take the DA62 with the you know, camera hanging under the nose and stuff like that. Yeah, we'll see. Either way, no idea how long this second part of the video is going to be. I know that first one was going to be over an hour. for sure. I haven't edited it all yet, but could already tell it was going to be over an hour. So hopefully it's not too crazy. Hopefully somebody watches it. But either way, it's still fun to make them. And I personally know of like one person that claims to watch the videos I make anyway. So there's that. And anyway, guys, I will let you go until the next one. And this is Papa Whiskey Bravo signing off.